Welcome back to the Crypto is Key conversation. We're going to start with this tweet here from James K. Fallon here. It's an update in the Ripple versus SC case. It says the SC has filed its response in partial opposition to the Ripple defendant's motion to seal certain documents filed in connection with the parties' cross motions for summary judgment. He has another one here where he says, the Ripple defendants have filed their response in opposition to the SEC's motion to seal certain documents found in connection with the parties' cross motions for summary judgment. So coming down here, and I've said, I'm ready for the finale to end. And then XRP Crypto Wolf says, can't wait until the XRP lawsuit finally concludes, with a smiley face. Jeremy Hogan states, will the court force the SEC to disclose the Hinman emails to the public? We should know very shortly. And there's some chat, some conversation down here as to when that would be. Mickle says, when do we get a ruling on this? I thought James K. Fallon thought it would come with the summary judgment. Jeremy Hogan says, I thought Jim thinks a ruling on the Daubert motions will come at the same time as the summary judgment ruling. So there's people saying it's not going to come very short, or is very short in the next few days. Jeremy Hogan says the judge has ruled on sealing motions very quickly so far. I think within a week or two, and at least once even faster. So we'll see. XRP Crypto Wolf says they should especially consider how many times they needed to tell the SEC to provide the Hinman emails. Absolutely, man. If forever, it was an ongoing battle. This is from the Bearable Bull. So obviously, you know, with the Charles Gasparino, you know, back and forth arguments and him calling the XRP community conspiracy theorists or childish conspiracy theorists, and kind of doing the complete 180 as to, you know, the strong work that he was doing. I know, you know, he feels attacked by the community, by certain community members within the community, but you know, you gotta be careful for what you do, man. There's been a lot of strong work that's been going into the XRP community in regards of, you know, surfacing, you know, conflicts of interest, you know, hashtag ETHgate stuff, just shady actors and blatant corruption within the industry, especially from government officials that are supposed to be there to protect the investors. This from the Bearable Bull says, when provided with court documents proving you are wrong, you result to insults. You, Charles Gasparino, are an opportunistic and conspiracy theorist. So this from Stefan Huber. It says, what now? Does the SEC ethics office lie? Isn't the SEC your source? You can't have it both ways, little Charlie. Either the SEC's info is true or it's not. Either you believe the SEC or you don't. So then he captions this email here is from Danae. Did I say that right? And then this is William Hinman. He says, happy to talk live. My outlook is up to date if you want to schedule something. However, the analysis is the same for the Simpson as it always been. You have a bar under the criminal financial conflict with Simpson because you have an ongoing financial interest in the firm. Meeting with them while having such a conflict is not permitted. As we discussed during your briefing, even calls with them are not permitted. It says it's also a serious optic issue. You can't be seen to be granting special access to a firm you have financial interest in. Crazy. And this is from Eleanor Terrett right here. So jsparks.e says, why are you flat out ignoring the facts Charles is actively spreading proven disinformation? Why won't you comment on it? Hinman committed a crime. This is inarguable. Why are you protecting Charles Gasparino's lies? Eleanor Terrett says, in nearly every interview I've done over the past year, I've used the word glaring to describe the conflicts of interest I've seen while reporting on this case. My stance hasn't changed. So shout out Eleanor Terrett there. And then Digital Asset says, I think Eleanor Terrett deserves the benefit of the doubt here. I've met her. She's good people. Someone in the XRP community should have her on soon. She'll clear the air. I mean, that'd be solid, especially if we can get her like on like Tony Edwards Thinking Crypto channel. That'd be huge. And this is also from Eleanor Terrett. It says, going to be a busy week of writing for me. So hopefully, you know, she sheds some clarity and some light as to what's going on. Obviously, she says she doesn't change her stance, and it's quite evident. You can't dispute, you know, the facts that has been surfaced. It is what it is. I don't know what's going on with Charles, but obviously something. I think Wheezy X had put up a tweet thread that I highly recommend you guys go. I think I retweeted it. You can check out my channel or my. I guess you could say my profile on Twitter here and check it out. But just some, you know, speculating based on certain things to see some sort of understanding of why he's acting the way he's acting. But this is Charles Gasparino right here says, instead of going down the Hinman ethics violation rabbit hole, XRP community should be putting pressure on SEC about how the Sandbaker Free token FTT somehow managed to evade the fate of Ripple XRP with Gary Gensler and co-FTT was an integral part of the FTX Alameda ecosystem. He continues, that commingle with everything. Scaramucci took FTT as part of Sam Bankman-Fried's Skybridge investment, which has the smell of an unregistered security if of it itself. Yet Sam Bankman-Fried had multiple White House Gary Gensler meetings without a peep. The him and focus is diversion that hurts the XRP cause. So the Bearable Bull says, we gone down both. Both are valid. You should stop denying the existence of one of them. And absolutely, I 100% agree. And to be quite honest, to go on this take, it's like, well, you talk about a diversion. It seems like, the whole Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX stuff is as a diversion from the whole ETHgate scandal. I mean, obviously, we all in the community, in the XRP community, believe that hashtag ETHgate is bigger than anything out there. And if it were truly to be investigated the proper way, and all rabbit holes, I guess you could say all the, however far that rabbit hole goes, if, the investigation really took to the extent, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, major people of influence, government status, one percenters of the one percenters are all exposed, which, even with talking about that, I mean, the likelihood of us seeing that just sounds so, I guess you could say, like not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But we just truly believe that ETHgate is bigger than them all, and all these other things, although they are very important, definitely affecting the markets, definitely affecting investors. But we truly believe that hashtag ETHgate is massive, probably the biggest in the financial history. Coming over here, this is from Digital Asset Investor. It says, when the FTX thing first began, right here. When the FTX thing first began, I said this would be a great distraction away from hashtag ETHgate. Bigger than Madoff, bigger than Enron, bigger than MF Global. So I forgot I had put this in here, but I mean, clearly based on, conversations that's been happening through these Twitter threads and stuff, this is what the sentiment is within the XRP community. Like, we haven't forgotten hashtag ETHgate. We haven't forgot all, the Ethereum free pass timeline and the blatant corruption and conflicts of interest. And it goes deep. And we haven't even connected all the dots. It continues to service more things. And that's the crazy thing about it. This from Charles Gasparino here says, breaking, prosecutors are telling lawyers connected to Sam Bankman fraud investigation, the case is so sprawling that it could exhaust resources of the Southern District, since it includes potential bribery, campaign contribution violation, market manipulation, on top of theft and fraud. And over here, Cointelegraph says, Sam Bankman-Fried claims not guilty, faces up to 115 years in jail. Law decoded January 2nd through the 9th. Says entrepreneur faces 8 criminal counts, which could result in 115 years in prison should he be convicted. Obviously, nothing's really going to happen until the October hearing of 2023. So it's going to be a waiting game to kind of see what happens. Man, it's just nuts, man. I wanted to play this and end this on a good note here with a little bit of motivation for the XRP community. So I'm sure you guys seen this video, but it's profound. And the comparison to, Amazon is absolutely, it's massive. So let's take a quick listen into this.
And I think Ripple is in a position that I compare to Amazon circa 1997, where Amazon at those age, which you and I will remember, it wasn't Amazon, it was Amazon Books. The name of the company was Amazon Books, and it competed with Borders and Barnes & Noble. Today, obviously, it does lots of things. I think of Ripple, our first vertical, the Books is to cross-border payments for Ripple.
So really think about that. Now look at Amazon. It says, this is from Digital Asset Investor, what is the next Amazon worth? What are the damages created by the people and entities that tried to slow it down, thus preventing XRP adoption and a Ripple IPO? So this goes into the whole speculation with Jimmy Valley from Val Capital talking about the buyback and, what they would buy back at it. I think he was saying some way upwards of, 30 to 50,000. But I think they're all trying to come together to some sort of consensus as to the value of the digital asset XRP if these blatant attempts for suppression and destruction of this ecosystem in this digital asset XRP, what would the value actually be? So I think that's what they're trying to implement there, so going down the line, if it were to come out to be some sort of buyback to get it out of retail hands or whatever the case is, it was like, hey, we have this information, we have, this documents and these formulas that show the trajectory of this digital asset would have been this if these damages weren't created by these people. Crazy, man. Hashtag ETHgate. Let's just go there. All right, well, that's what I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversations YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.